Shocking news emerged from Nigeria yesterday as a Christian student named Deborah Yakubu was beaten and burned to death after being accused of blaspheming the Prophet Muhammad. A gruesome video of the murder went viral on social media, causing outrage among the Christian community in Nigeria and many others. But brutal violence against Christians throughout the country has not only been commonplace for decades, but has dramatically increased in recent months. A former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo had declared Nigeria a country of particular concern in December of 2020, yet the Biden administration inexplicably removed Nigeria from that important and useful designation, even as the violence increased while international news coverage nearly vanished. Now, here to discuss all of this is Lela Gilbert, Senior Fellow for International Religious Freedom at FRC. Lela, welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much. It's good to see you.
It's good to see you. This is a terrible story, but give us a little more background. What do you know about what has happened to this college student?
Yes, what I understand from reading about it is that she had posted on a chat on WhatsApp, just back and forth with people, and apparently made some reference to what prophet or, something. It wasn't even derogatory so much as just kind of questioning which prophet are we talking about, or maybe it was more than that. Whatever it was, a gang of young men attacked her yesterday and beat her, and they were yelling and screaming. And unfortunately, there was a gruesome video, and I didn't watch it, and I won't. But it showed them shouting and laughing and saying, "This is blasphemy! This is blasphemy!" And then they threw petrol on her and lit a flame we think she was dead by then, but burned her body. So this was about as violent as it gets, except it really isn't. I mean, if you follow Nigeria's story, what you find is that this kind of thing happens a lot. This time it was an individual student at a college. It was videoed and it was shown on social media. We've had accounts of churches burned, horrible stories. I mean, this is not unique, but it is good. It focuses on what happened.
What is the environment there in Nigeria that makes something like this in very public places possible, that makes people feel like they can do something like this and get away with it?
There's been absolutely no response from the government, or very, very little. And in fact, many people think the government, if not complicit in these attacks, is at least watching with interest. The president is a radical Muslim. He has surrounded himself by radicals from his particular ethnic group, the Fulani tribe, all of whom are not radicals, but the particular group that he's associated with is radicalized. So the government is doing next to nothing, if not at times being complicit. And then on top of that, you have people that are terrified, and they are running. There are 8 million people that are refugees from northern Nigeria. So this whole situation is so violent and so bad that people are living in great fear. And we have groups like ISIS involved now, as well as Boko Haram, which has merged with ISIS, and then these Fulani radicals. So it's mayhem, and it's going on pretty much every week now, 20, 30 people killed.
Lela, just last week, Tony, of course, who has been part of the U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom, addressed the situation in Nigeria. Let's go ahead and play clip 5, then I want to get your reaction to this.
Some say it's an issue of scarcity of resources. It's an issue between farmers and herders. But clearly the evidence suggests that religion is playing a key component in the conflict there in Nigeria and must be a part of the discussions.
Now, Lela, Tony there referenced the idea that this is being framed by some as not necessarily a religious issue. It's farmers and herders. Is there an incentive or an effort to minimize the religious nature of this and attribute this conflict to something else?
Well, that's been very much a part of American diplomacy about this. It's been hard to get any kind of response from the State Department, and it was wonderful when former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo actually declared this a country of concern, particular concern, but that was disappeared. And again, when you talk to people at the State Department, and this is it's well documented, that it's always about climate change. It's about, farmers that are losing their land because somebody wants their herds to graze. In fact, these are attacks where Allahu Akbar is cried out. It's very clear, if you listen to what the terrorists are saying, what it's about. And whether those other factors are partially responsible for triggering it, fine. But that's not what we're looking at here.
Well, in this case, when we're dealing with a college student on a college campus, it seems self-evident based on everything that we know publicly, at least. This had nothing to do with farmers and herders, but was much different than that. Lela, is there any hope that the public nature of this incident will get the State Department in the United States to change its position and do something about this?
Well, let's hope so. I mean, I don't have high hopes that they're going to completely change their position, but it might draw enough attention to the disgrace of it that it will maybe cause some sort of response. That's all we can hope
for. We hope it
does. We hope to.
Lela, sadly, we are out of time, so we have got to go, but thank you so much for updating in this today.
Thank you, Joseph.